right, let's go ahead and hop into today's session. So the first thing we do, as usual, go to the 3 hour. Again, I don't know what's going on with the 3 hour, but hey, it's still stuck within this same range. Hey, it'll break it eventually, I'll say, but as of right now, it's still stuck within this range. So we can kind of hop straight down to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, this is where we left off yesterday with a low here and a high here. Price was uptrending, so this was the high initially. Price broke it right here, so people might be wondering, why is this not the high? Well, this was the old high, and then price didn't break with that one. It actually just wicked above. Then it broke with this candle and that candle. So after that, price kind of played around within this range and then broke to the downside. So we see this is a high probability break as well because it broke here and gave us a second candle push here and then kept pushing down to the downside. So this is the new low. And we can get rid of this and go ahead and draw our supply zone from here all the way up. So I want to measure, make sure it falls within the 50% retracement area. It does not, so we're going to pull it back. I do see this candle and this little gap right here falls perfectly within there. So we want to have it there. So boom. So now let's analyze what the market has done so far. So price has impulse to the downside, giving us a push where it broke this low here. It's retraced to this supply zone, and it started to push off of it. So it started somewhat of a continuation. So what we want to focus on the 10-minute is just this leg right here. This 10-minute leg that's giving us a continuation to the downside. So let's go to the 10-minute, and we're going to focus on that. So the 10-minute, we showed up a little early today. We showed up at like 10:20. Not 10:20, 7:20, my bad. So focusing on this leg, we can actually go back to the structure on the 10-minute. So focusing on this leg, we see this kind of pull back here. But even when we look at the current structure, we see it was a high here. Let's go ahead and draw these lines to make sure everything's accurate. Ten-minute. 10-minute. So we see it was a high here. It pulled back and then pushed to here. After it pushed here, it pulled back some, couldn't break, and then it broke here, gave us a second candle push, even gave us a third candle push as well. So price then pushed to this downside, making this a high probability 10-minute area. We can get rid of this, and we can go ahead and draw our zone on. Because remember, on the 1 hour, we're focusing on this move. So we want to focus on this move as well as where the move kind of changed character, if possible. Just focusing on here, we could see by looking to the left that it didn't finish. So the structure ended up being fairly similar. So that's why I didn't mind going back a little bit more to get the most accurate version of this structure right here. So like we always do, make sure that this high probability zone is within a 50% retracement, which this one is not. So we'll pull it back. Typically, if I could just pull it straight here, but price isn't really that messy. It's actually pretty clean. I do like this area right here because it pulls back to the body of this, getting rid of the wick. Yes, it's giving a little more here, but I don't know. I just like this one here because this was the initial break. So we pull it back to the body here. That falls within the 50%. And boom. So we have our 10-minute. So now let's analyze the 10-minute. So on the 10-minute, we have got an impulse to the downside. And we are in a retracement phase on the 5-minute. So we want to focus on this area right here on the 5-minute and see what's going on, if there's any structure. So let's go to the 5-minute. So on the 5-minute, what we see is price pushed to the upside, but there's no structure. So let's go back a little bit. And what do we see? We see price actually never even changed character. So the 5-minute had a low here. So price pushed down from wherever it was at, had a low here, pulled back, creating a new high. And then pushed down, pushed, So it gave us a high probability 5 minute all the way down to here, and it never broke this low. So it's in line with the 10-minute sale. So really we know we're mostly looking for sales because our 1 hour is bearish, our 10-minute is bearish, and our 5 minute is bearish as well. So we want to go ahead and draw our 5 minute zone. And that zone is going to be this supply right here, from the last low that was broken to the high of the pullback. And at this point in our session, we're doing nothing but waiting. We're doing nothing but waiting. If price pulls into the 5 minute and gives us a opportunity with a bearish confirmation, we will enter. If it breaks past the 5 minute but gives us a 10-minute, then we'll look to enter off the 10-minute. But let's just see what happens as of right now. So it's a little bit of patience here. Boom. Price is pushed within our zone. Let's see if we get a confirmation. Nope. Perfect. So we get a sell confirmation right here. Pull it down a little. Stop loss is about 9 pips. Which means we are looking for 20.5. So let's see if we get entered in on that very next candle. And this was my first trade of the day. My stop loss was actually like 8 pips, I think. I'm not sure how I got in there earlier, but I think I got in for like 8 or 8.5 pips. But we're still gonna follow the trade as is. Let's go ahead and get our 75%. So 20.5 times 0.75. That is 15.37. So we're gonna go about 15.4. 15.4. Partial. And back down to 20.5. All right. So first thing we want to do is see what's going on the 2-minute. Now, 2-minute, we don't really care about the structure. We care about the impulse. We're expecting price to push in our direction. So we're not focusing on everything that happened here. We're focusing on everything that's happening currently in our direction that we're looking at. So what we see so far is we see prices push to the downside. It has started to retrace. So it's created a low. So we don't have anywhere to protect our trade until price breaks this low. And that's only if it gives us a high probability break. So we'll go ahead and mark this off as the 2-minute, and we're just going to manage it from here. So let's see what happens. We get a break here, but price immediately pulls back. So we can mark off the new low and high. So this is the new low, and this is the new high. But it's not high probability, so it's not an area that I'm going to look to exit if price breaks this high. I'm just going to stay in until it hits my stop loss, or wait for it to break below again and see if it gives me a high probability opportunity to protect my trade. So let's go back to the 2-minute. So let's see what happens. Boom. So we get one candle break. Let's see if we get a second one with a push. Perfect. We get a second one with a push. It wicked within our partial area but didn't close. So we know that means, hey, we're going to stay in this trade until we see if it closes within. But we now do have an area which we can protect our trade. So price pulled back from here and then gave us a new low. So it gave us a new low, and now I can draw a zone from here to this area that it pulled back. And this serves as an early exit opportunity. So if price breaks and closes past this 2-minute, then I can go ahead and exit early. But as of right now, we are all the way down here. So let's just see what price gives us. Is it going to continue pushing low? Perfect. Still didn't close. It closed right on the line, but that's not within our partial area, but it did create a new low. So let's see what happens. Boom. Boom. So based off this one, we would have closed within this profit area. Now, for me, it actually hit TP because, like I said, mine was a little bit shorter. So I had an 8 pip stop loss, and I was only looking for an 18.5, which would have fell about right here. So this was my first win of the day, this trade right here. Um, and so, yeah, we just reanalyzed from here. So this is my first win of the day. Now we have to go to the 5 minute, see what's going on, and just wait for structure. Because remember, we don't trade on the 2 minute unless we are managing a trade and it gives us a scaling opportunity, which once a trade's over, we don't care about scaling in because we're done with that trade. So as of right now, price is still stuck within 5 minute structure. So again, we can adjust things. So I know I'm not getting in another 5 minute trade unless it pulls and tests higher than it did here. So I would need it to test somewhere in this area for me to even want to consider getting in again. So let's see if it breaks structure. Let's see what price continues to do. So it didn't break the low. It broke the low on that one. Does it give us a second push? Perfect. It gives us a second candle push past it. So now we have a new 5 minute low. We have a 5 minute low here. And the 5 minute low was originally here, so we can go ahead. We don't even have to redraw it. We can just pull this one down because everything falls within it. So this was prices low. It pulled back and then it pushed through right here and gave us a second candle push. So that means this is high probability. So the next thing we need to do, make sure it falls within our 50% area. Hold on. So it doesn't right now, but we can pull it back and it falls right at this candle line. So I'm going to put it right at where the body starts. And I'm going to pull it over some just so it's easier to see. And that falls right at the 50%. So we're just going to leave it here. Let's see if the 5 minute keeps pushing or if it starts to retrace. Perfect. So we did get a small push right here. It basically falls right at the same area. So I'll just pull it down just a tiny bit to match this one. We're going to leave our zone the same because it really didn't move anywhere. So let's see if we get a retracement again or if it just keeps pushing. Perfect. So now we get a retracement. So now we just want to see, hey, is price going to break this 5 minute low or give us another 5 minute opportunity here? So we got to have that patience. Let's see. Boom. So now it's testing within our zone. We got a sell candle. So we can look to get in right below here. For about an 11 pip stop loss, and this was my second trade as well. And this stop loss and stuff matches. My stop loss was 11 pips, well 12 on my actual trading platform, and I was looking for 24.5 pips as profit. So let's see if we get entered. Boom, we get entered into this trade. So first thing I want to do is mark off my 75% level. So 24.5 times 0.75, that's 18.37. So we'll go about 18.4. Go ahead and mark this off as a partial level. And then pull our stop TP back down to 24.5. Perfect. So we see we got a nice push to the downside. So just like our last trade, we want to go to the 2 minute. We only looking to focus on here. So we see right now from the 2 minute, price is impulsing to the downside in our direction. And we just want to wait to see if price starts a retracement anywhere, if it keeps pushing. Perfect. So right here, price has started its 2 minute retracement. Boom. So now right now we don't have anywhere to protect our trade. We just have to see if price breaks below this 2 minute and gives us a high probability zone. We can protect ourselves, similar to what we did on the last trade. Now, again, you might be wondering, oh, why didn't you look at the 10 minute? I only have an hour left in my session. So the 10 minute doesn't really matter too much to me right now at this moment. I'm more so focused on the 5 minute because the 5 minute presents me an opportunity that I believe I would be able to get into within my session. The 10 minute is just too far away. I don't think the 10 minute would give me any type of reaction before my session were to end at 11. But the 5 minute gave me an opportunity. So that's why I'm only focusing on the 5 minute. I'm not really caring about the 10 minute at this moment. So let's see what happens with the candles. Price wicks below but doesn't break, pushes up a little bit, breaks now. Do we get a second candle push? Perfect. We get a second candle push. That gives us a high probability zone. So this is the no 10 minute low as of right now. It could still push lower. And this was the low. This is the pullback area. So now I have an area to protect my trade. So now at least I know I'm not taking a full loss, even if price reverses on me. If price breaks and closes past this 2 minute zone, I will exit as soon as price closes. Um, but if not, we're just going to keep riding it out until we get new structure or price does break our zone or hit our TP. So let's see what happens next. Price did create another low, so we just moved the low down. We created another low, we moved the low down. Boom. Now it started its retrace. So this solidifies this market structure. So either we're going to get a, a test here and a push off. It's either going to break and we're going to get an early exit, or it's going to just at some point break the structure and continue to the downside. So let's see what ends up happening. Perfect. So price wicked above but didn't close. So we're still in this trade as of right now. And boom, on the second candle, it did close above, so we would have went ahead and closed this trade for an early exit, and that is exactly what I did do in the live market. So today we did finish profitable. We did have a profitable day. Our first trade was a full win. We got our 1 to 2. Our second trade, it started pushing our direction. It got really, really close to our 75% area, but then price reversed and broke our 2 minute structure. So we ended up exiting for a very, very, very small loss once price closed past this zone. Again, like I was saying yesterday, you just have to follow your trading plan. Your trading plan don't always work in your favor. Sometimes it'll be trades like this where, yes, I had an option, an area to protect myself, and price got really close to my 75% profit level. But my trading plan says if it doesn't cross here, I'm waiting until either it breaks here, rejects off of here, and pushes past here. So that's exactly what I did. Either way, we ended the day in profit, and our account is a little bit bigger than it was yesterday. And we get to show up tomorrow and trade the same. Well, actually, tomorrow I won't be trading. I got a early morning meeting for work. It definitely does suck. I hate when things come in the way of my trading schedule. I'm not sure how long it'll last. If it's quick, I'll get home and see if I can kind of trade whatever time is left in my session, but it's like an award ceremony, so I probably won't be able to trade at all tomorrow, which sucks because Wednesdays have been pretty profitable days for me, especially to start the year. But either way, I'm still going to come on here and do the back test for you guys. The video might just come out a little bit later. Um, and I guess tomorrow I'll update you guys and let you know if I trade it or if I'm just doing the back test for you guys, but I didn't get to take any live trades because of my meeting. But this is how the market went for me today. We got a win. We had a small loss, and good thing and this is why I say you got to follow your trading plan, because let's say I would have been greedy and been like, nah, price is moving to the downside. It rejected off of a 10 minute, rejected off a 5 minute, and rejected off of 1 hour. I'm gonna stay in this trade even though it broke my 2 minute. Look what would have happened. You would have just got spiked out for a full loss. Literally. So that's why we follow our plan to a T, because our plan protects us. Does it always give me the most profit? No. Sometimes it'll go deep in profit, not get to an area that I consider taking profit at, and then it'll reverse. But it does protect me all the time. Today, my trading plan protected me by giving me a small loss instead of a full loss. It helped me. And on my first trade, my trading plan protected me, and I was able to maximize it and get a full win off of it. So just understand, once you have your trading plan, keep messing with it. You can tweak it here and there, but you shouldn't be changing it all the time. One loss or one trade that pushes your way and goes against you shouldn't make you want to change your whole trading plan. You have to understand your trading plan is there to protect you. It's there to make you more money than you lose. It's not there to make sure you win every trade. Nothing can guarantee that. It's not there to have you know, oh, the market is creating a low here and it's going to push through. Nobody can know that. You just have to follow your edge, whatever you set your plan to be, for the good and the bad. And basically, you'll see how profitable your strategy really is. But most of the time, you could take any strategy. It's really going to be on the person. How disciplined are you? How consistent are you? And when you make mistakes, do you take accountability? Say, okay, that was on me, regardless of what the market did. You feel me? Do you say, oh, that was on me, I broke my rules, and learn from it and move forward? That's all you can do. But today was a good day in the market. We're going to show back up tomorrow and see what happens.